Here it is. Okay, so quickly, if I just show you the job which we do in AWS is in EC2 only. Just click on EC2. Okay, just click on EC2, and you click on instances running, right? There you go. There is one server already I have created. If in case you want to create servers, we already know that how to create. Just click on launch instance and give the name of instance. How many servers you want, you can give the number here, and rest of the details you can leave as it is, and you can click on launch instances. So that is how we have already created instance. Okay, so if you see here, there is one instance which is created in EC2 you have, right? This is server basically. Okay, now I have one server. How do I work on this server with Linux? We will see that. Now in this server, okay, uh, I want to know the details of that server. That means any server, if you take, how do you identify that as a server? It has a IP address, external IP, internal IP, server ID. That is nothing but instance ID. Everything you will have, right? So similarly, if you just select this, you will see all of them. Okay, unless you select, you don't see. Remember this point. Okay, to see the details of the server, you have to select it, and now see here, as I said, you are seeing the details of the server, instance ID of this server, and public IP address of this server, and private IP. This is public IP and this is private IP, and you have all the other DNS details, status, I mean the state of the instance. It is in running status. Okay, so all these details you will see, okay, of this server. You do not know which information you need from the server tomorrow, as you work, right? In case if the client wants to know something about the server, maybe you have to you might not have it handy all the time, right? Maybe if it is only its IP address, or internal IP, external IP, these details you will have. Now details like this, if you want anything, like, you can't have them all the time, right? That is why you have to come here and search whatever the your requirement. You can check all of them from here. So basically these are the details of the particular server. Okay, now you will see other details like status, alarms, how is it and what is it, and security, and then networking. Okay, all these details you will see here. This is one point. Now the next point is, right, I want to connect. Okay, I have this server. This is my server which is outside the premises. Maybe you can say it is a front end, something like that. Now I want to connect this server with my Linux. Okay, now I want to connect this server with my Linux. Now how do I do that? First, when you select this, you see something called connect here. Okay, click on connect option. When you click on connect, you have something called you have so many options: EC2 instance connect. These are the details. Session manager, SSH client, EC2 serial console, right? All this. So basically you will come here. Okay, you will come to SSH client. When you are connecting, remember this step. Whenever you are connecting AWS server with Linux, you have to click on connect. When you click on connect, you will redirect it to this page, and then you have to select SSH client. Okay, and then you have to select SSH client, right? When you click on SSH client, you see something called instance ID, or you see something called this one, right? You will copy this. You will copy, connect to your instance with public IP DNS, this one. Okay, no, anything whichever you want. Like if I'm I want to connecting this server, what I will do, this, if I just click on this, it will be copied. You don't need to select like this, do Control C. It is not required. Okay, whenever you're selecting, you just have to click on this. So even if you want to select, command is copied. Just in the symbol, if you just click it, it will be copied. Then you will go to your Linux. That is, I'll tell you anyway. So if you are connecting the server from AWS, you have to select that server first, click on connect and come to SSH client and copy the ID. Then you go to Linux. We will do that. Okay, this is a basic understanding how to connect the server with Linux, uh, with the AWS instance of Linux. So this is one thing. Now, uh, as I said, in Linux, okay, in Linux. Now all these servers we are connecting with Linux, okay, backend. Tomorrow when you are working your real-time projects also, you will be working on backend servers, okay, you'll be working on backend servers. Now when I talk about Linux, right, majorly in Linux you have two different flavors. One is Putty, second one is, you remember I told you in the last class, anyone? Putty is one, second is what? Git bash.
Git
Okay,
bash.
yeah, Putty and Git bash. We have two main flavors in Linux. It is all same. It is basically a terminal, the black screen that you see, right, when it comes to Linux. That's nothing but terminal, and it is terminal, and you can also call that as a CLI, command line interface. Okay, the CLI, command line interface. Okay, so you log into two of them, right? So let me just see here. Okay, in, maybe you can say Linux types. Okay, majorly Linux flavors. One is Putty, second is Git bash. Okay. Putty and Git bash. Now what is Putty? What is Git bash? Okay, now what is Putty, what is Git bash? As I said, both of them are both of them will be used to connect the servers. Okay, it's all the same, and Linux commands that you will be using, right, it is same in both of them. In Putty it is same, in Git bash also it is the same. Now why, when it is same, why do you have to use two things, right? Basically, for example, if you are logging to any of the server backend using Putty, right, you need to give that IP address. You need to mention that IP address. Only then that system will allow you. You're getting it right. You need to mention that IP address when you, if you are logging in using Putty. For Git bash, you can directly log into server and you can see the check. You can check the server name there. I will show you that. Okay, Putty and Git bash. Remember this, these two. Now you need to have this in your machines. Did we install this? Did I already explain in the last class? Did you install Putty and Git bash in your machines, guys? Did we discuss that? You installed Putty
Uh,
and Git bash? No, right?
no.
All right. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so as I said, there are two flavors mainly, Putty and Git bash, right? So we need to install them first. First, go to any of the browser, type for download Putty. First, if you're doing it for Putty, go to any browser, type for download Putty. Click here, click on download Putty, and you see here download Putty, a free SSH, all this, right? Take this, take this one, take this one. Here it is. Click on download Putty. Okay, you have to click on download Putty. Okay, when you click on download Putty, it will be downloaded in your laptop, in your machine. Okay, so this is done. After it is downloaded, I have already done it. So if you see, if you just click on download, it will be like this, the symbol, right? The image also, I mean, Looking at the image also, you should be identifying it, right? So this is my putty. Now if I click on this putty, okay, it's here, click on download, otherwise it will be downloaded to your machine. You just have to run the installer, that's it. Click on finish. Okay, so if you done that, this is your putty. This is your putty screen. You see here, when I click on putty, you need to give your IP address. Basically, I am logging into server, right? I am logging into server. Obviously, when I am logging into server, what do I need? I need the IP address of the server, right? So that is exactly what it is asking me. I need to give the IP address of this server, whichever I want to log in. For example, let me give some sample one. I have it, right? IP address. If I just take this, okay. So here the IP address of this server is this. Let me just take it for you. Just copy this. Okay, just copy this and put it here. Okay, okay, this one. Just I took the sample IP address which I have with me. Tomorrow in your real-time projects, if you are working in any of the organizations, whenever you are trying to log into a putty, that means whenever you're logging to any server using putty, you have to mention the IP address of that particular server, right? So when you give this IP address, just keep it as open and just click on it, and you see this is just a sample one I'm just showing. See here, this is where you need to log in to the server. Now you how do you get login details? Your ID, password, everything will be given to you in your project. Okay, first you log into this. This is the basic. After you logging in, what commands to be used, we will talk about it later. So this is how you log into putty, the first step. Okay, so first you have to install putty in your local machine, and then once it is installed, you click on that. When it's open, you need to give the IP address of that particular server. When you give the IP address only, it will be uh, only if you give the IP address only, you will be able to log into it. That is first point. Now second, after putty I said git bash is also one more thing, right? Git bash, download git. How do you download it to your machine? Just click on download, type for download git. Okay, previously download putty, now we are doing git bash. So for that, you type as download git, that is enough, right? So if you click on download git, you come down here. Okay, when you come down here, copy git downloads, you have your git here. Click on download for windows. Okay, so you just have to click on download git for windows, right? For the, if you click on that, it will be downloaded. After it is downloaded, you will see here git. in your machine. See, this is your Git. This is your Git. You see, if you see the difference, okay, Git bash, you can directly log into it. Okay, when you open, you will see the terminal directly. But if it is Git bash, sorry, if it is putty, you need to mention the IP address. That is one point we have to pay attention. Okay, so that is what it is. Putty and Git bash.
One
Now, yeah.
like
Uh,
in putty, like we'll be using to connect the
uh-huh,
server, right? Particular
correct.
server.
Yes.
Whereas in Git bash, how means can't we connect to particular server? It was opening directly in the interface, right? If
Uh,
we check,
yeah, yeah.
how we can help here in for the particular
Yeah,
server.
see, that's what. If you want to go to a particular server, right,
Hmm.
you will use majority of the times putty, but Git bash is used when you log into it. When you log into your credentials, at that time also you can look at your server details, because you have, okay, I am working in a project. Okay, I am working in a project.
Okay.
I have access to particular servers. Okay, so by default
Hmm.
my access will be added by from backend to my project team for git bash and putty. So 90%, as I have
Okay.
seen in the
Okay.
organizations, people will be using putty only. Git bash is used very rare. Okay,
Okay.
so we do git bash because it is easy to learn, user friendly, the screen, the
Hmm.
interface, right? So it looks little easy
Hmm.
compared with putty. That's it, not much of difference.
But
Okay,
most of the organization will use only putty.
only putty, correct, yeah, only putty.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That is what it is. Okay,
Sometimes
so
I'll also use this
mhm.
putty to
Mm,
connect servers.
okay, okay,
Mm.
yeah, putty is most probably it will be used because it's not difficult. Basically, all you need to do some practice with the Linux commands. That's it. If you
Hmm.
know how to use which command, I mean how to use, where to use, if you know that, it is easy. No
Those
problem. We
Linux
will learn
commands
from
only
the
will be
beginning.
using in putty.
Okay, in your current project. Mhm.
Those Linux commands will be using in putty. Now here
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this.
input. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
same commands.
Okay.
It's all Linux.
Okay.
End of the day, it is all
Okay.
one
Okay.
family. It, yeah,
Uh-huh.
it is all one
Okay. Got it.
family. Within the family, you have these many things. That's it. Okay. Even you use putty, you use git bash, same commands. There is no change in commands. Okay.
Hmm.
Even if you use putty git bash, entire Linux has a same set of commands across the globe.
Hmm.
Okay. So we will be using those commands. So that is about
Nice.
Linux and putty. Okay, now as I said, it is important for us to understand Linux, and I repeat it again. When we go to Linux, I will show you how to use commands. I will show you step by step process from a very basic commands how to use. I will tell, but you have to practice it. Unless you practice Linux commands, it is little difficult. Linux commands you will learn only with practice. Anyway, you learn Linux, you go, I mean, this is your lifetime opportunity. Like, if you learn Linux, it is useful for you, even future, in future also, even if not Splunk, any other technology, DevOps, any other Azure, cloud technologies, everything there is Linux these days. Okay, so Linux, please learn Linux, it is really important.